Welcome back to part 2 of the Nekroz deck. Now for the next monster we had one Nekroz of Trishula. Now, as this card states, here's what it does. Crap, didn't mean to do that. During either player's turn, when a card or effect is activated that targets a Nekroz monster you control, you can discard this card and negates the activation. So it pretty much works like Gunger, but it cancels out a card effect, so it doesn't really do much for that matter, except for canceling stuff out. Now, the effect it does when this card is ritual summoned, you can banish exactly 3 of your opponent's cards. So it basically works like the actual Trishula, but it must be ritual summoned in order to get this effect off. And since we all know what Trishula did, I really don't need to explain that. I mean, come on people, Trish was banned for a reason, and they brought it back as a frickin' ritual. Like, okay, maybe Konami did something right, but then again, they were on that weed, y'all. So, they kinda goofed, but not really. Okay. Anyway, I'm actually going to explain why these ritual monsters are so special and why they are so limited. Well, I wouldn't say limited, but the requirement is what makes them very unique. Okay, next we run 3 Nekroz of the Unit Core. You can ritual summon this card with any Nekroz ritual spell card. Must be ritual summoned and cannot be special summoned by other ways. You can discard this card, then target one Nekroz card, then target target one Nekroz card in your graveyard except Nekroz of Unit Core. Add it to your hand. You can only use this effect once per turn, once per turn. Or if it's on the field, negate the effect of a face-up monster on that field that was special summoned from the extra deck. So, this is a +1 with technically a +2. You can either choose to ritual summon it, then cancel off any special summon extra deck monsters effects, or you can basically ditch it to recycle back another card to your hand. So say, if you used Bryanak here to search out for, I don't know, say, or Decisive Armor or Unicore, you could basically ditch Unicore to go back into Bryanak, so that way you can get the search off next turn and search for whatever Nekroz you'd want to get. Okay, so Valkyris here, he's actually pretty good, I'll admit, but let me explain why though. Again, he has a +2. When an opponent's monster declares an attack, you can banish one Nekroz card from your graveyard and discard this card to the graveyard to negate the attack. Then the battle phase is ended. So it's basically a battle fader, but with a cost. You want to banish one of the Nekroz that's in your graveyards and discard him from your hand, so that way the battle is permanently negated for that turn. Now, what he does is when he's on the field, during your main phase, you contribute up to 2 monsters from your hand or on the side of your field, and if you do, draw the same number of cards that you tributed. So, basically, what he does is, if you can basically sacrifice monsters on either in your hand or on the field, must be 2, and if you do, once per turn during the main phase, you can basically get a +2 draw. So, it's actually not bad, but I would probably recommend the discard effect to him. Now, why these cards are so special, you see their levels are 6, 3, 10, 7, 9, 4, and 8. Now, as it specifically says, you can ritual summon. Okay, let me explain Valkyris. You can ritual summon this card with any Nekroz spell. Must be ritual summoned using any level 8 monsters. But this is where it comes tricky. If you remember my example from the first video, you cannot ditch, like, say you wanted to ditch Decisive to ritual into him, or Valkyris, you couldn't do it, because it specifically says strictly says, actually, in both this and the ritual spell, I do believe, that you must sacrifice cards to make it a perfect 8. So, say if you wanted to play it, you'd have to ditch Senju and Manju, or, crap, who was the level 5? Anyway, you would want to probably either ditch Unicorn or one of these guys, or 2 Unicorns or another Valkyris. So that's basically how the ritual summoning works. It's not that hard, but at first I really wasn't sure what I was doing, but thanks to SSJ Infinity, shout out to SSJ Infinity for helping me learn this deck, and I'm going to actually tweak with this and experiment with some more Nekroz builds, and once I get a few good ones up, I'll probably have them uploaded to the channel here when I get a chance to get them tested and such. Okay, anyway, moving on to the spells. Here are the rituals needed to summon them. You have 2 Nekroz, Kaleidoscope, Mirror, and Cycle. Now, what Kaleidoscope does is, this card can be used to ritual summon any number of Nekroz ritual monsters. Tribute 1 monster from your hand or field, or send 1 monster from your extra deck to the graveyard. Also, after that, ritual summon any number of Nekroz monsters whose total levels equal the exact level of that monster. You can only use the effect of Nekroz Kaleidoscope once per turn. But here's the +2. These Nekroz spells have like a +2s to each of them. So the +2 is to this. If you control no monsters... Oh, crap. I keep getting that. I don't know why. I don't know why. If you control no... What the frick, man? Like, really? During recording? Really? Like, stay down, you stupid antivirus thingamajigger. Okay. Moving on. Crap. Curse you. Okay. Curse you. I curse you. Finally, it stands down. Okay. So, you basically... Okay, if you have no monsters on your field, you can banish... I hate you, Dueling Network. Like, did this really just have to happen? Like... Okay, hang on a second, guys. Okay, Dueling Networks want to be a butthead. Yay, it reloaded. It freaking reloaded. Connecting. Okay, let me get... Okay, that's... Okay, here's my Nurse Burn deck, but we're not talking about frickin' Nurse Burn here. And this is why I really dislike using Dueling Network, but I literally have no choice but to use it. Okay, here we go, Nekroz. Anyway, as I was saying, you can banish one Nekroz monster from your graveyard and the spell to add 1 Nekroz spell card from your deck to your hand. So it's basically banish this and a Nekroz to get a free ritual spell. So you can... Okay, each of these ritual spells are unique. Like I said, it can only ritual summon on certain conditions. Now, what Kaleidoscope does is you can only tribute summon from the hand or extra deck. So if you want to go into level 4s, I'm just going to explain, or I'm just going to show off the extra deck real quick. For level 10, you got Shooting Quasar Dragon. Level 7, you got X-Saber or Bellum. Then level 4s, you got 2 Herald of Arc Light. What he does is when he's sent from the extra deck, basically he's sent to the graveyard, you can search out for another ritual monster. So if you go into like Unicore, you go to Kaleidoscope for Unicore, and you ditch that, or you play Kaleidoscope, then Arclight, then go into Unicore, then use his ability to search out for a Bryanak that's basically like a +2 or 3 draw for you. Okay, anyway, ending this to make it to part 3.